Hello and welcome to the Client Experience Revolution. This is episode 1 and I am your host, Riah Gonzalez. I titled this episode Viva La Revolucion because it's our first episode. I wanted to cheers. I wanted to say that I'm excited that you're here, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy this discussion as much as I do in terms of how we come together as a community, how we come together as a business community, and how we can best serve each other and treat each other with kindness. Customer service has this connotation sometimes of being a dirty word. It really does have this sense of a negative experience that we've had maybe with customer service where we haven't been understood or we felt like someone has really stepped over what we're trying to communicate with them. And with client experience method that I use, I teach business owners how to re-engage with the clients that they already have, how to create experiences that are very special and they feel very recognized and that the experience is very personalized. So it's breaking out of the mold of the transactional, I'm selling you something, and really into blossoming into more of a relationship-based business partnership. So I just wanted to introduce myself. Again, my name is Riah Gonzalez. I'm the founder and CEO of the company Admin Prestige and Client Experience Consulting. Our company is based out of the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where I live with my family. I have a husband, 3 daughters, and a menagerie of animals, including a cow. We do have a cow. My business is about a year old, and it has grown exponentially. I now have 5 employees, and they span the globe. I have 2 here in Washington State. I have 1 in Dubai, and I have 1 in LA and 1 in the Philippines. And it has been my greatest pleasure to begin and watch this little company grow into something that is making such a huge social impact on the world, not just because we're globally located, but because our whole mission really is empowering employees who may not be able to fit a traditional 9-to-5 setting. And so removing barriers to employment, really adding that element of mentorship and learning on the job. And that's something that's really important to me because when I was younger, I did not have that opportunity. I really had to scrap and scrape my way to, we'll call it the top because I'm not there yet. But just, keeping that real attitude of humbleness and sweetness towards the world and wanting to extend that love, not only to my employees and my clients, but to the greater community around us. And so I try to cultivate that attitude within my company so that my clients are happy, my employees are happy, and likewise, the people that they interact with are also happy. Client experience to me is important because people who have more positive interactions are happier people. There's nothing like having a bad experience on the phone or in person, and I'm the worst. I mean, sometimes I may sound like I'm an extra happy person all the time, but if I get crossed in a business interaction, woo-wee, it can be ugly. And it's really because I understand how simple it can be to recognize and acknowledge someone's feelings and to say, this is really outside of my power, but I want to make it right for you. So this is what I can do. And that's how I would handle things. But unfortunately, not everybody is the same. And so I could tend to get a little hot under the collar about that. And that's definitely a quality that I'm working on for sure. The format of this show will be to highlight different businesses, how they interact with people, customers, who their customers are, what they see as the special components of the client experience. And for them, that may be within an organization. For them, that may be their employees. For some people, that could be their customers, their clients, their guests, their members. And for some, that may be the public at large or the world. And so I just want to bring in and invite people from all walks of life to share with us what that might look like. And I am very open to suggestions. So in the show notes, I'll make sure to include all of my social media handles. I invite you to find me on LinkedIn, find me on Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter, and tell me what you want to hear about. I do have a beautiful list of people that will be on this show. Our next episode, we're highlighting Katie McLaughlin and her work with corporate culture using dramatics and theater to break down some of the barriers that come between people in conflict in the workplace. And And if you want to be on the show, please let me know as well. This really is an open forum for people to come and talk about what they would like to see in client experience. We all have to spend money in one way or another, or we have to spend time. And so we want to make sure that those experiences are the most positive as possible. And if they're not positive, how can we learn from that? How can we make that a better experience? So that's the gist of the show. I also wanted to keep you updated just to let you know of some of the things that are going on around in the Seattle community. Recently, I had the pleasure of being a participant in an organization called Seed Spot that came to the Seattle area this last weekend, which at time of recording, we are at Tuesday, the 22nd of July. And that organization it's a nonprofit that supports new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are considering opening a business that has a social impact. And because Admin Prestige does have the mission of reducing barriers to employment for young women and for non-traditional workers, and because we are really trying to close the wage gap, that was one that we felt very strongly that we should be a part of. And it was phenomenal. And it was also phenomenal just to see the business community rally around myself and my cohort to encourage us, to give us background information on things that we may not have even thought about, and to give us the support to be successful moving forward. The last thing I wanted to shout out as a resource, if you're thinking about starting a business, if you're in business now and want to connect into the entrepreneurial ecosystem of the Seattle area, or if you're in an area that offers 1 Million Cups as a meetup group, I highly recommend that you attend. 1 Million Cups is an organization started, I believe, in Arizona, but it's in Seattle now as well. It meets every Wednesday at the Collective at 8:45 a.m. And we have a speaker every week. They get to speak for 6 minutes pitching their business. Sometimes it's the very first time they've pitched their business. And then there's 20 minutes of fireside Q&A. I myself did this very early on of when I was putting around the parameters of what this business might look like. And the feedback that I got was so valuable that it has completely changed the trajectory of how I do business today. And I was hooked. I go every week now because I can't wait to be a part of that conversation for somebody else. So if you are in the Seattle area, I say welcome. Please join us every Wednesday at the Collective. That is at 8:45 a.m. And if you're in an area that offers Seed Spot, or it could be called 2-day launch camp, some are longer than 2 days, and you are a social impact driven entrepreneur, I highly encourage you to get involved with that again. The support that you will receive is phenomenal, and it's really about making the world a better place. And that's what the client experience revolution is all about. And so again, I say to you, Viva La Revolucion. Thank you for joining my podcast. I hope you'll join me every week as we bring quality content, amazing people, and I only have people on here who are smarter than me. I believe in bringing you the very best of the best, and I invite your contacts, your comments, and anything that you would like to add to the show, because this show is for all of us. And thank you so much for your time. I'll be seeing you next time.